Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So, in our previous lesson, actually, hold up. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're finding ways to kind of feel normal or, do some interesting things here. Um, and hopefully, you're staying safe and you are safe. In the lesson yesterday, you had a chance to look at an overview of the history of petroleum, a very important molecule. In this next long chapter, we'll take a look at some of the ins and outs of molecules, what they're made of, how they behave, things like that. Okay. Petroleum is a group of extremely important molecules. Um, and as you saw in the lesson yesterday, um, there's been a lot, to their history, and they have a significant impact on our society. In today's lesson, you're going to look at some of the basic properties of petroleum. There are two other videos to look at in addition to this one. Just to review, covalent compounds are molecules. And again, that's what we're going to be focusing on over the next couple of weeks. When atoms bond to make a molecule, they do so by sharing electrons. There are weak attractions between molecules. Ionic things like salt have an extremely high melting point. Table salt will melt at literally thousands of degrees Celsius. Many molecules will melt at only a few hundred degrees or even lower than that. The elements in a molecule usually are nonmetals. Metals are rarely present in molecules. These are poor conductors. They're not very good conductors of electricity. At room temperature, they can be solid or liquid or even gas. With petroleum, typically we're looking at liquid and gas because they have lower phase change points, lower melting and boiling points. And covalent compounds we refer to as molecules. Now, specifically petroleum, it's organic matter, things that used to be living that are dead, and over millions of years, they've been liquefied and buried. And we have a mixture of many different hydrocarbon chemicals. Hydrocarbons, any molecule made of carbon and hydrogen. So that's petroleum. Uses. Petroleum is used as fuel, as you probably know. Home heating oil, kerosene, jet fuel, gasoline, etc. And that's about 84% of petroleum is used as fuel. And then things like asphalt, paving, lubricants, etc. That's 9%. Grease, for instance, that's about 9%. And then plastics and medicine, and you are seeing that correctly. Certain medicines can be synthesized, made from petroleum. That's about 7% of petroleum. Names for petroleum: crude oil is petroleum directly from the ground when it's drilled for. When it's first brought up out of the ground, we refer to it as crude oil. Petroleum, petro, means rock. Oleum refers to oil. So this is oil from rocks. Black gold, Texas tea are some other slang terms for petroleum. Black gold because it's valuable. Texas tea because one of the first places in the United States where petroleum was vigorously drilled for was in Texas. What else here? So some basic physical characteristics, physical properties. Petroleum can be clear, anywhere from clear to greenish to even black. The thickness can vary, and it depends on what's in it. Again, it is a mixture, and those mixtures can vary. It can be very thin, it can be very thick. And typically, petroleum is a mixture of over 500 different chemicals, usually different hydrocarbons. And again, that's a molecule made of carbon and hydrogen. What else here? When we talk about petroleum, we talk about combustion and polymers, both things that we'll look at in this chapter in a little bit of detail. So combustion is a type of chemical reaction where a petroleum molecule is broken down to give off energy. Polymers are large molecules made from small subunits. Petroleum molecules are combined to make polymers like plastic. In your lesson next week, you'll take a closer look at fractional distillation, which is a process for separating that mixture of petroleum into more specific compounds that are much more useful. But like I said, we'll take a look at that next week. So watch this video, look at the other two, and that's your lesson for today. In addition, any other remote learning work that you still need to finish, take some time today to do that if you need to. All right, everybody, thanks very much. Have a good weekend, and stay tuned for your next lesson next week. All right, see you, everybody.